Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Firewise press conference. My name is Paula Lopez Ochoa, and I am the publicist for Santa Barbara County Fire Safe Council. And I'd like to welcome you here to announce a big milestone in our journey to make our community more Firewise and fire safe. So, with that, I'd like to thank everybody for being here this morning. But I'd like to also welcome 3rd District Santa Barbara County Supervisor, 3rd District Santa Barbara County Supervisor and Santa Barbara County Fire Safe Council Board Member, Joan Hartmann, to talk about Firewise and why we are here today.
Thank you, Paula. We all appreciate you being here. It's so important that you are. With the mega fires now happening in Canada, where some of our own county firefighters have been deployed, and never before seen smoke blanketing the eastern U.S., we can honestly say that we know what they're going through. But unlike them, our county has been through these kinds of events before, and we've learned, and we know what it takes to get through it. The research is very clear. Connected communities, communities with a plan, communities where people know and look out for one another are the ones to survive disasters and to recover more quickly. This is especially significant because we experience more large simultaneous fires, some that cut off transportation corridors, so communities have to take effective actions until outside help can get here. The Santa Barbara Fire Safe Council is an extraordinary organization that has grown very quickly to meet this challenge. We are determined to work with every neighborhood in the county vulnerable to fire to help them get organized into Firewise communities. A Firewise community takes preemptive measures to lessen potential damage from wildfires. Some of these measures include the following: community education about fire behavior in that community's particular area, defensible space, both individual and around the entire community. Access, that's very important for fire trucks and other firefighting equipment. Home hardening, roofs, walls, and windows, and ember-resistant vents and screens to prevent embers from lodging in the structure and catching fire. And above all, community planning, evacuation planning, communication planning, identifying frail members who may need help to get out or get their animals out. All of these things are what Firewise communities can do. They also work very closely with local fire departments so that they know, the firefighters know where pools or other water sources are, helicopter landing areas, and all of that. So today, we are very proud to announce our 10th Firewise community in the county that has earned this certification. And I want to list them all in the order of the certification. The first out of the box, the pioneer, was the San Marcos Trout Club. And then, I'm very proud to say, I represent Hollister Ranch. The Maria Ignacia Creek community was 3rd, Upper Tunnel Road Mission Canyon community 4th, Rancho Santa Rita Estates, Sabata Owners Fire Association, that's the first in North County, just outside of Lompoc. Tecolote Canyon, or Rancho Embarcadero, where we are today, was number 6. San Antonio Creek 7, Painted Cave 8, Santa Barbara Highlands in the city of Santa Barbara was 9, and drum roll please, the newest Firewise community, Upper Mission Canyon Road in Mission Canyon. It takes some commitment to identify leaders and for the community to get behind this effort, but that effort yields some significant benefits. A Firewise community is eligible to apply for free chipping and grazing assistance through the Fire Safe Council. A Firewise community is also qualified for Fire Safe Council assistance in applying for grants to implement projects identified in their plan. And of course, a Firewise community is more connected and just a more congenial place to live, where people step out to look up for one another. So, we enthusiastically encourage any others who would like to start this process to go to the Santa Barbara County Fire Safe Council website to contact us about how you and your neighborhood too can become a Firewise community. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Paul.
So my name is Paul Van Leer. I'm the president of the Fire Safe Council. I want to give you a little history. The Fire Safe Council is a 501c3, and our mission is to promote wildfire safety through education and action. It was actually developed back in 1997 after the Painted Cave fire. Fire chief at that point said, we need to do something. We have to be more proactive in protecting communities. We can't have this happening anymore. So we've been around a long time, but the last couple of years, I'd say, the board decided we need to be really more proactive in developing programs to mitigate fire concerns for the neighborhood. So we started applying for grants. Our first grant is RWMP, which is a regional wildfire mitigation program, which Amory heads up, and that's how we got to the Firewise, and also home assessments. And then we also at that time did a Gabio to CWPP, which we just recently finalized. And we have 2 grants we applied for, 3-year grants this year. A $2.1 million chipping grant that does communities from Hollister Ranch to Carpinteria, about 26 communities. We got started this year. And then we also did a Rivery grant, that I believe is a $1.9 million grant. That's 3 years as well. And that's gonna run various different communities. Right now, they're actually working in Montecito. We're gonna try to do like 1,000 acres a year for that. So it's pretty exciting what we're doing. We're really ramping up our programs to try to help the communities. We actually applied for 2 more grants for this year that'll be hopefully approved next year. By the way, all these grants are CAL FIRE grants, just so you're aware. And those grants, one is gonna be a CWPP that will be developed in Lompoc. So we're gonna try to mark, our next move is North County. And then also we have a education grant, which is a broad spectrum education grant for the schools and professors to really kind of start early. We're really excited about that one. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. And so I'm going to turn this over to Amory, our new executive director.
Thank you, Paul. I want to start off by saying I'm extremely honored and humbled the board has chosen me as the first exec director of the Santa Barbara County Fire Safe Council. In my relatively short work history, it has been my greatest professional experience to work with the Fire Safe Council and get to know the local communities. I look forward to the opportunity to continue to work with the staff, the board, our partners, and the community to grow the organization into a pervasive and influential and resilient group that is needed to prepare the communities in Santa Barbara County to live with wildfire. It's been an incredible journey being the first employee of the Fire Safe Council, where I've worked to develop several new programs to promote our mission of education and action. The most important program at the Fire Safe Council is to work with communities to build their capacity to prepare for the next wildfire through the Firewise USA program. Firewise is incredibly important because when there's a wildfire, there are only so many agency personnel and many more residents. And while the agencies do an incredible job, when wildfires are becoming more severe and more unpredictable, the communities need to be more prepared. You cannot rely on the fire department to save your house. You cannot trust that you will have enough time to pack up all your valuables and safely evacuate. And this is where Firewise comes in. Firewise provides a way for communities to be a part of the wildfire solution by empowering you to make a plan, to be proactive, and to build connections with your neighbors so you can work together to be prepared for when, not if, the next fire occurs. And the Santa Barbara County Fire Safe Council is here to help you prepare yourself, your family, and your community for wildfire. It is completely free and voluntary to participate in Firewise. Firewise understands that every community is unique and different, so it's designed to be very flexible by having 3 basic requirements. The first requirement is to get organized by forming a small committee of residents who will lead the Firewise efforts. And these people really are key to a successful Firewise community as they communicate with their neighbors and they lead efforts that will make the community more fire safe. The second step is to create a plan by undergoing a risk assessment so you can really understand how your community is vulnerable to wildfire. This information is then used to create a 3-year action plan, which identifies steps the neighbors will take to mitigate these vulnerabilities over time. And lastly, the community must do some actionable items, like hosting 1 education activity each year. So Firewise is simply a very easy program. It is just designed to get neighbors talking, better knowing each other, so you all can work together to take small steps to increase your preparedness for wildfire. If you or your community is concerned about wildfire, the Santa Barbara County Fire Safe Council is more than happy to help empower your community to prepare for wildfire by becoming Firewise. please go to our website, sbfiresafecouncil.org, for more information, or please reach out to us at 805-620-7131. And with that, I'd like to introduce Mark Hartwig, the Chief of the Santa Barbara County Fire Department.
Thank you, Anne Marie, and really I just wanted to give a shout out to the Fire Safe Council. First of all, Rancho Embarcadero is my home, and so it really hits close to home for me and my family here. First of all, Fire Safe Council in this county specifically is one body, and they work together towards one goal. We heard a little bit from the Fire Safe Council president, and when he talks about applying for grants, those aren't grants that are easily received by individuals or even individual communities. It really does take a group, a sponsor like a Fire Safe Council to come and say, we're going to put ourselves out there, we're going to take the resources, spend the resources necessary, come together with one unified voice, and then apply for these grants countywide. We talked about the grants that are available here today. So first I wanted to recognize Fire Safe Council for making the Firewise community program a priority in the county of Santa Barbara. So thank you, Fire Safe Council, first of all. Second of all, just the Firewise program itself. You know, for most of my career, we've spent a lot of time focusing on the individual responsibility of homeowners and property owners, and you being fire safe. But what we've come to realize that fire spread in a community really is more a function of how safe and prepared the community is around these homes. Very rarely does a home stand by itself. The home stands next to a home next to it, maybe some open space, and then a group of homes connected by vegetation and, in many cases, flammable fencing or dividing areas, hedges between the homes. So really the Firewise community focuses then on the entire community, the group of homes, and how prepared are you then as a community? And that's where Firewise came in. I want to talk a little bit about Firewise here because it took the Property Owners Association here in Embarcadero to say, we want to be more fire safe. We want to be more prepared. Is this a program for us? I wanted to call out Jim Deacon. We have other members of our Embarcadero Property Owners Association here who says, I'm willing to host. We talked about getting a host. I'm willing to host and I'm willing to keep pushing it forward. I have to admit, the emails would come out across the whole association, and there were times that it took me a week or so to get back to those emails, but Jim wasn't going to let it slide. Jim was going to say, we have a deadline, we have a meeting, we have a plan we have to come up with. It almost seemed as if we were meeting in Jim and Sue's backyard, and Firewise would show up, or I'm sorry, the Fire Safe Council would show up, and Anne Marie we would say, we get Anne Marie here to give us counsel. It's that easy. We felt like there was a catch somewhere. We felt like, we're going to get every bit of help we need all the way through the process, and then if we do all of these things, then we'll be Firewise. And as you can see behind you, we are now a Firewise community here. So thank you again to the community. Thank you, Jim, for leading us through this effort. We today in this canyon are safer, not just individually as homeowners, but now as a community, and then a group of communities here on the South Coast because we're a Firewise community. Thank you again to the Fire Safe Council. Thank you, Embarcadero Property Owners Association, for your leadership as well. And we're excited about this 10th Fire Safe Firewise community here in the County of Santa Barbara.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you all for being here this morning. And thank you to all the attendees and the board members and the community members for all of their efforts. Have a great day.
So, if we could